Hello, and welcome back. We are learning about tactical capacity, which you will remember is any behavior that is not a technically explicit behavior. Tactical capacity is the behavior that enables you to be a role model to your direct reports. It's the behavior that guides operational improvements, and it's the behavior that guides others through change. And it's the behavior that allows you to sustain excellence on the job. Organizational tactical capacity is born in the hearts and the minds of every single person that comprises the organization. In essence, it is the combined energies of all individuals at any given time and in any given place. And so, in its simplest form, it is the interactive behavior driven by individual thoughts and feelings. And these behaviors can only be achieved by honing your skills that arise from the core principles that form the three domains of the positive presence behavior competencies of influential leadership: self-awareness, collaboration, and connection. Throughout the course of this program, it's important to understand that you are being presented with a lot of material and ideas. Some concepts and ideas are very new, and some are not so new. Some of the new concepts and ideas will be directly related to your brain, how it works, and how you can make it work even better. You will also be presented with concepts and ideas that require you to take some very deep dives into your feelings and your thought processes. I have no doubt that some of the material you will be presented with will be met with resistance, and that's okay. You may also feel like it's just too much, and that's okay too. Whatever feelings and thoughts that you have, I can assure you it's normal, and I would ask that you just acknowledge the feeling, allow the feeling to move right through you, and then allow your mind to remain open. You will be amazed by how much you can retain and retrieve if you consciously practice opening your mind to new ideas, to a new way of thinking. Welcome to the Mini Med for Super Focus. For these couple of minutes, I invite you to sit comfortably, and as you let your body settle in, let yourself feel your shoulders just relaxing. Let yourself feel your thoughts releasing. and relaxation encompassing your entire body and mind. As you settle into the feeling of relaxation, allow an image of a goal or something you'd love to manifest come into your mind. It can be something simple that you can accomplish today, or something you're looking to accomplish in years to come. Let your mind hone in on the detail of what it is you'd like to create. As your mind hones in, let yourself feel that you're getting completely encompassed in what it is you want to create. You have the power and the knowledge within you to reach and exceed this goal. What would it feel like to accomplish this goal and get it done? What would that feeling feel like in your body? What would it feel like in your mind to have accomplished this goal? Feel the energy, the wanting, the inspiration from within to devote all of your focus into manifesting this goal. You may feel your energy increasing. You may feel your creativity slowly increasing, or even becoming very clear on what you want to create. Notice any inspired ideas or intuitive thoughts that come to you in this state. Notice yourself feeling relaxed yet energized, inspired deeply from within, and incredibly focused and motivated to achieve your goal. And now, let your body take one last deep breath in, knowing that this energy and these thoughts are grounded and present in solution and love, moving you forward. Come back to awareness. Notice your surroundings. What do you see? Is there anyone beside you? Across from you? What sounds do you hear? An impulse to act is part of every emotion. Every emotion is a call to action. The word emotion comes from the Latin emotere. The letter E means away, and motere means to move, thus conveying the idea to move away. No emotion is neutral, so emotions are actually a call to action. The critical question is, should we do what our emotion wants us to do? It is a basic principle of human life that our actions will follow our emotions, or our emotions will follow our actions. Whether we should do what our emotions want us to do, of course, depends on the situation, and that is why the skills of emotional management are so important. We must learn to respond effectively to situations, not react blindly to our emotions. The anger impulse is strike out or speak out. The fear impulse is fight, flight, or freeze. The happiness impulse is celebrate, laugh, and rejoice. The depression and sadness impulse is withdraw and detach. We face a double challenge. The challenge is to respond effectively to each situation and to avoid getting caught in the trap of reacting to your emotions about the event. Emotional management is a personal leadership competency. No one else can manage your emotions for you. This is something you need to learn and apply consistently in the daily practice of the positive presence behavior competencies of influential leadership. One thing is certain, If you do not manage your emotions and the energy these emotions create, then your emotions will be managing you. Emotions play a critical role in the physics of life equation, E plus R equals O. Sometimes we don't see events clearly because we are blinded by our fixation on how we feel about events. To respond effectively to life and work, learn to monitor and manage your mental focus. When you experience a challenging situation, manage your mental focus and self-talk. Do not tell yourself a story that feeds into negative and disruptive emotions. But watch out. Disruptive emotions have little interest in patience, perspective, or precision. Rather, disruptive emotions have a voracious appetite for stories that keep them alive. So it is that it takes a great deal of discipline and focus to resist the temptation to feed negative and disruptive emotions. The key to living and working at your most effective level is to focus on and feed productive emotions. When you experience a challenging event in your life or at work, have the courage to tell the real story, not just a story that feeds disruptive emotions. Note that negative emotions tend to fixate on emotional activators. When an emotional pattern is allowed to repeat over and over again, it gains in power and influence. So, tell a story that is most accurate and most effective. Stick to the facts, and if you have to make assumptions, always choose the most positive. In response to the events of life, have the mental toughness and cognitive strength to focus on productive thoughts and self-talk, the positive thoughts and self-talk. Your feelings will follow your focus. Remember the mantra, it is what it is. Now what? The technological revolution of the 21st century has rendered time management ideas and skills of the past obsolete. The saying that time can't be managed, it just is, has never been more true. And in today's age of digital convergence, where all types of different technologies are merging into one ever-present, inescapable demand for our attention, it is our attention that becomes the most valuable commodity. New ways to get us to notice information are being invented and refined every day, and the phrase demands on your attention was never more appropriate. Attention management is the act of controlling and leading one's attention toward tasks that will deliver to us the greatest value and productivity, professional and personal, by avoiding and controlling the unconstructive distractions of today's world. With recognition that our attention has become the most valuable commodity, our ability to focus becomes the most valuable skill. And if we don't use it, like any skill, we will lose it. Self-awareness and identifying how we divide our attention, plus identifying the sorts of things we are focusing our attention on, is the first step. Understanding our personal working style can be beneficial in identifying what our natural tendency is and also identifying and prioritizing the activities we should be focusing our attention on. Graham Alcott, in his book, How to Be a Productivity Ninja, talks about different levels of attention. 1. Proactive attention. 2. Active attention. And 3. Inactive attention. Our attention level changes from day to day, even from moment to moment. Recognizing one's own different levels of attention and having tasks ready at hand for processing in each different attention level can be key for successfully completing a productive day. Note that when we are in a positive flow of energy, that is when we possess the clarity and focus that we need for proactive attention. The clarity and focus that comes with a position of confident, Zen-like calm. We can think of attention as a mental muscle that must be strengthened for maximum performance or focus. In today's fast-paced business world, our natural tendency is to just push through getting things done. But like any muscle training, we must be aware of the signs and/or signals that our cognitive functioning is being compromised. Such signs or signals include, but are not limited to, mistakes, forgetting, momentary blankouts, and our mind wandering to a negative place. Also important is the understanding that our brain was evolved to pay attention to scarcity. If we consider our time to be a scarcity, and in today's working world it usually is, our mind will voluntarily wander to a state of overwhelmed paralysis of not enough time to accomplish tasks. The skill of positive presence will successfully bring you back to the moment of clear focus by creating positive and time-rich thoughts. We must control the amount of information we receive, how we communicate information, and most importantly, how we control our attention for optimum focus. We become what we give our attention to. We must use our skill of positive presence to create the necessary cognitive state for a focus on that which will bring us the greatest positive returns in terms of achieving peak performance, in terms of building and maintaining good relationships, and in terms of experiencing good health. You will remember this slide. It illustrates how different people focus on different aspects of a situation. Many people tend to invest significant emotional energy into defending their focus frame rather than seeking to understand other aspects of the circle of reality. Again, you must proactively and intentionally seek to understand what is outside of your own personal focus frame. You must proactively and intentionally rewrite your script to one which is positive, supporting, and life-giving to all parties involved. Depending on the situation, any emotion can be either productive or disruptive. An emotion is productive if it strengthens you and helps you take effective action, and if it enables you to respond proactively to a situation. Productive emotions are a source of positive energy that empowers you to perform at the upper levels of your potential. It engages your higher level brain function. The emotions you feed will grow. Emotionally intelligent people feed productive emotions. In response to someone trying to harm your family, anger can be proactive and productive. But in response to a coworker challenging your idea, anger can be reactive and disruptive. An emotion is disruptive if it hinders you from taking effective action and if it produces an inactive or reactive response to a situation. Disruptive emotions are a source of negative energy that hinder you from performing at your best. Remember, the emotions you feed will grow. Emotionally intelligent people feed productive emotions. They don't feed disruptive emotions. Consequently, emotions are a powerful force in your behavior and your life. Emotions are not neutral to events and stimuli that have come to have great significance to your sense of meaning, value, and purpose. Performance excellence in today's demanding and ever-increasing stressful healthcare environment, as well as other industrial and service organizations, requires a high level of emotional management, mental toughness, and focus. Emotions do not respond directly to an event. Rather, emotions respond to what you think about an event. Your thoughts and self-talk in response to an event create the emotions you have about the event. To manage your emotions, you must manage your thoughts and self-talk. To do that, you must manage your mental focus. What you focus on feeds your emotions. You write the script that you use to describe and interpret what you experience every day. You assign meaning to the events of life and work. When you choose your focus, you choose your feelings. You are the author of the thoughts and self-talk that creates your feelings. If you want to change your feelings, change your focus. To manage your emotions, you must manage your thoughts and control your mental focus. Emotions don't just happen. The power of focus, how you choose to look at events and circumstances of your life, begins a sequence in a chain reaction connecting feeling, energy, and action. The critical path illustrated on this slide is the mental chain of events at the heart of emotional management and cognitive strength. Focus feeds emotion. Emotion creates energy. Energy influences action. The key to managing your emotions is learning to manage this mental chain of events. Focus is what you think about the situation, your self-talk. Feelings is how you feel in response to your thoughts and self-talk. Energy is the emotional and physical energy created by your feelings, and action is what you say and what you do. Unique to each of you and driving this chain reaction of responses is what researchers call a social behavioral style. You will remember the 4 scales in session 5. Each of the behavioral scales reflects its own set of emotional needs and has its own response to the effect of stress and other factors that meet or fail to meet your emotional needs. As the diagram illustrates, emotions do not respond directly to an event. Rather, emotions respond to what you think about an event. Focus feeds emotion, and emotion creates energy. As illustrated in the diagram in this slide, the level of intensity of your focus and/or feelings, coupled with whether it is positive or negative, produces 4 different emotional energy states. A key to effectiveness in life and at work is to stay on the right side of the diagram. High positive is the emotional state that creates energy for peak performance, and low positive is the emotional state in which you recover productive energy. You manage your emotional energy state by managing your focus. When you find yourself drifting into a high negative state or low negative state, move back to the positive side by refocusing your thoughts and self-talk. It's important, too, that you realize you cannot continually live and work in the high positive state. Low positive is an important state of recovery, reflection, and relaxation. Physical and mental health requires the right balance of action in the high positive state and recovery in the low positive state. It is in the upper right-hand quadrant of high positive when you are experiencing what is called the flow state, or zone, or ideal performance state. It is a very real mental and/or physical condition in which a person is performing at, and often beyond, his or her potential. In the flow state, a person's attention is totally focused on the task. There is a feeling of being in complete control of one's actions. The person experiences a very deep sense of joy and fulfillment in simply performing the activity, and there is a perception of time slowing down. Notice, too, where your focus may tend to be if you are in a highly negative state. You will tend to focus on the hassles at work, or the fact that there is just too much to do, or too much drama, or too much of anything over which you have no control. Or you are focusing on how irritating you find your work, or the people around you that you work with. Also, in a highly negative state, you may be feeling resentment, frustration, or anger. It's important for you to know that if your focus or feelings share a similarity to any of these labels, you are existing in a very high negative state. And whether you know it or not, the negative effects of stress will be creating havoc and harming your mental, physical, social, and emotional well-being. Know, too, that the more time you spend in a high negative state, the more natural it becomes for you to focus on hopelessness or on boredom or experience a general dislike of your circumstances as a whole. And you will, either knowingly or unknowingly, find yourself harboring feelings such as cynicism, indifference, and/or avoidance. This diagram illustrates one theory on your personal journey through change. Your thoughts and/or focus, your feelings, and your behavior has a huge impact on why change is both so easy in some circumstances and so difficult in other circumstances. It is natural that you will embrace the change you desire and you think you control. At the same time, it is natural to resist being changed by people and/or events you do not like or desire and you do not think you control. You manage your emotional positive presence energy state by managing your mental focus. Your emotions respond to how you think about an event or situation in your life. How you choose to remember previous life events and the emotions associated with those events feeds how you will respond or react to current and future events. Donald Clifton and Tom Rath, in their book, How Full is Your Bucket?, put forward that positive emotions help us live longer. They show that positive emotions provide a buffer against negative health effects, anxiety, and depression, and they enable us to recover faster from pain, trauma, and illness. They also suggest that positive emotions might even add more years to life expectancy than does quitting smoking. Other studies suggest positive emotions can even ward off the worst of the common cold. As well as physical benefits, positive emotions can produce benefits that add to your mental well being, increasing your ability to function well in relationships and do well in all areas of life and work. Positive emotions, Rath and Clifton conclude, protect us from and undo the effects of negative emotions, fuel our resilience and transform people, broaden our thinking, encouraging us to discover new lines of thought or action, break down racial barriers, build durable physical, intellectual, social, and psychological resources that provide reserves for us during trying times, produce optimal functioning in organizations and individuals, and improve the overall performance of a group when group leaders express more positive emotions. Positive emotions generated by praise and accurate feedback increase peak performance in sports, learning, and on the job. They improve marriages and relationships, and they help us raise healthy, self-reliant, and authentic thinking children. In today's work environment, the demands to perform at a continuously high level of excellence amid the pressures of increased complexity, ambiguity, and rate of speed can be overwhelming and taxing on even the most focused and positive person. The circumstances of today's work environment, whether you acknowledge it or not, are the ideal scenario for stress. And unless you are monitoring and managing your emotions, there is a high potential for the negative effects of stress to overtake you. You will remember that stress is a normal physical response to events that make you feel threatened or that upset your balance in some way. In fact, for many people, any amount of change at all can trigger stress, especially if it's perceived to be unwanted change. When you sense danger, whether it's real or imagined, your body's defenses kick into high gear in a rapid, automatic process known as the fight or flight or freeze reaction or the stress response. Understanding and being aware of your behavior style will help you identify when you might unknowingly be under stress. Understanding others' behavior style will also help you identify when they might be under stress, whether they know it or not. Note that each style begins with an initial stress response that is an amplification of their natural behavior. If stress continues and gets more intense, each style has a tendency to respond with the opposite behavior. Research has identified that each behavior style will find specific behaviors to be stressful, and when under stress, they will also display typical behavior patterns. When you are equipped with this information, you can consciously be even more diligent in your efforts to practice your skill of positive presence, and in so doing, you will mitigate or even eliminate the negative effects of the stressful behavior or situation. Learning to recognize and adapt your own behavior style is critical to managing your emotions, as well as to helping those you lead recognize and adapt to stressful situations. In Appendix 1 and Appendix 2, at the end of Chapter 6 of your manual, you will see some of the stress-triggering behaviors of each of the behavior dimensions. Acquiring the skill of positive presence is a slow and gentle process that begins with awareness and expands into your 20 square feet. It is a positive focus on who you want to be and what you want to accomplish. It is a conscious practice of searching out the most positive response to any circumstance you find yourself up against. It is a journey to living a life of joy and peace. You have seen this slide before, but it's worth repeating and revisiting, and the more often you refer to it, the easier it will become to remember the typical behavior expectations for each style. Take a few minutes and refresh your memory to the specific behavior expectations of your personal style, whether it's scale 1, 2, 3, or 4, for each of the characteristics in the left column of the matrix. Keep in mind that you may show behavior typical of a scale type different from your primary dimension. This just means that you are already on your way to adjusting and adapting to scale types other than your primary dimension. The key is to ensure that your behaviors are being driven by the most positive of emotions within you, so that they strengthen not only you yourself, but so that your behaviors strengthen all those around you as well. You will find this slide duplicated on page 14 of Chapter 4 of your manual. So, at the end of the day, emotional management, in essence, is composed of 4 vital action steps. First, develop emotional awareness. Second, don't react to your emotions, think. Third, monitor and manage your focus. And finally, always, always focus on your mission and your purpose, not your emotion. Ask yourself, which of these action steps do I find most challenging? And which of these action steps, if I did them more effectively, would help me achieve better results? Keep these questions in your mind as we take a moment for a personal check-in. It is now time for a personal check-in. This means that it's a time to be mindful, a time to pause and ask yourself questions. For the remaining sessions of the Positive Presence Behavior Competencies of Influential Leadership, we will be accompanying your personal check-ins with brainwave music. You will remember that brainwave music has been proven to move a person into a more positive mental and emotional attitude. The clip that you are hearing is typical of the theta brainwave state, which has proven benefits such as deeper connection to one's emotions, increased intuition, greater levels of energy and relaxation, enhanced self-awareness, and a greater ability to enter into a highly focused, effortless learning state. So please, close your eyes and take a deep, deep breath and repeat with me, either silently or aloud. What sort of feelings have I had since my last check-in? And count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What have my thought patterns been like since my last check-in? And count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. What have my behavior patterns been like since my last check-in? And count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And open your eyes. A personal check-in is also a good opportunity for you to do a physical body scan. You've been sitting for a while now, and you will need to stretch your muscles. So either sitting or standing, make a conscious effort to bring your body to a state of relaxed anticipation. Beginning at the top of your head, as you slowly breathe in and then out, I want you to first consciously acknowledge your scalp, and then focus on relaxing your scalp. Next, consciously acknowledge your face, and then focus on relaxing your face. Now, your arms and your hands. Gently shake them out. Now your chest, your abdomen, your hips, your legs, and your feet. Wiggle your toes and stretch it out. And count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, seat. And again, please close your eyes. This time, I would ask you to repeat after me, either silently or aloud. Please allow my mind to be open and accepting of all information coming to me, that I may think upon it in the days to come. And now open your eyes. Learning how to give and receive is an important step in the journey to influential leadership. Your ability to give benefits all those involved, both physically and emotionally. When giving to others makes you feel good, those feelings translate to your biology, and the region of your brain associated with pleasure, social connection, and trust is activated, creating a warm glow effect. Scientists also believe that altruistic behavior, giving, releases endorphins, producing the positive feeling known as the helper's high. These same biological responses will also decrease the negative effects of bad stress. Receiving, on the other hand, is every bit as important, but for many of us it is very, very difficult. The strengthening power of receiving occurs when you receive freely and with an open heart. Whether the gift is a dinner invitation or an offer to help with one of the tasks on your list. For many, many people, their unconscious negative mind chatter judges the gift and attaches to it an IOU, a burden, an indebtedness, or a lack of trust. The science indicates that in the long run, we can't stay emotionally healthy without accepting gifts, both concrete and intangible. Refusing to receive freely and openly will leave you chronically empty, prone to addiction, obsession, codependency, or an eternal psychological hunger that's never quite satisfied. The healthy alternative is to learn to receive wisely, fully accepting good gifts without being damaged by the bad ones. Learning to give and receive freely and openly builds stronger relationships and allows the giver and the receiver to care deeply and to serve. The goal is to change the negative mind chatter to a conversation free from judgment. When you give, give freely from the heart. When you receive, free yourself from the judgment and focus on the intention and love of the giver. It takes practice to give and receive with an open heart. So let's take a moment for a mini-med adapted from my friend Dina Proctor's 3x3s at www.dinaproctor.com. So please, close your eyes and take a deep, deep breath. Welcome to the mini-med for giving and receiving. For these couple of minutes, I invite you to sit comfortably. And as you let your body settle in, let yourself feel your shoulders just relaxing. Let yourself feel your thoughts releasing. And I invite you to find your place of peace and total relaxation. Feel the muscles in your body completely relax, completely release any tension right now. Feel your mind becoming open and becoming quiet, and let yourself tune in to the inner space of gratitude and generosity within yourself. Remind yourself how good it feels to give to another person, whether it's someone that you love, someone that you're surprising, or someone that you've never met, that you're giving to anonymously. Let yourself get in touch with how good it feels to be able to give to others. And remind yourself, too, of the gifts that you get when you share generously with other people. It's an amazing reward to feel like I have enough to give. I am abundant. And I know that by giving to another, I've also received more for myself. It's a beautiful cycle to be in flow, to be in a coherent flow of energy within you and around you, feeling generous, feeling gratitude, giving of yourself, and being able and open to receive gifts, support, nurturing, and love from those around you too. It's a beautiful cycle to be able to give of yourself and then to open yourself to receive from others. And now, let your body take one last deep breath in, knowing that this beautiful cycle of flow and these nurturing thoughts and feelings of support and abundance are grounded and present in solution and love, moving you forward. Come back to awareness. Notice your surroundings. What do you see? Is there anyone beside you? What sounds do you hear? We are now going to take time for reflection. This reflection time is referred to as table time because this exercise is created to be shared with a discussion group of your peers. Feel free to gather around a table with your colleagues or head over to Corporate Harmony's virtual discussion group. This is also a time to stay focused on task. Be present in the moment, right here. You will see notes pages at the end of the manual section for personal use in gathering insights and questions as you move through the material. So take time to put pen to paper. There are never any wrong or bad answers. Seeing your words on paper allows your brain to open up to even greater possibilities. Putting your thoughts and feelings to words on paper opens your mind to your inner wisdom and greatness. Enjoy this time and share your insights with the discussion group. You will find this slide at the bottom of page 17 of Chapter 6 of your manual. Next session, we will be looking at the third and final principle of the relational behavior domain of collaboration, creating and sustaining highly effective relationships. And you'll learn why it is only through relationships that teams are successful. So, until then, live each moment of each day with harmony and purpose, and allow your grandest dreams to come true.